For the decade ahead, I think the new real estate norm
will be more emphasized on technology.
We'll see a pretty major shift in terms of residential location. I think the requirement for smaller inner city living is changing.
I think for the decade ahead, real estate will need to be quite transformative and adaptive.
I think real estate will be more flexible and offer a more diverse range of offerings.
I think it'll need to be really customer-centric, a really strong focus on technology.
We're going to see people reacting to this year, looking to get to the regions, looking to upsize, get into the suburbs.
I think work would become a lot more flexible.
The decentralisation of the workplace in general.
We don't need to necessarily fly everywhere or be together all the time.
The way housing is designed, the way space is designed, will have to account for that kind of shift.
The acceleration of flexible working.
Appreciation for flexibility.
Flexibility,
And I guess the acceptance of that as well by our industry,
is the key for work moving forward, definitely.
It's impacting our cities by depopulating the CBD and its buildings, which were pre-COVID the heartbeat of our economy.
We're going to have a more permanent population working from home during office hours that are going to demand a greater diversity of services locally.
We'll start to see people move away from the city centres.
That definitely a shift from economy from the city to the suburb.
Everything you need is within your suburb or your precinct, and everything is accessible very quickly.
I think COVID-19 has really challenged me personally to rethink how I work and also how I guess I operate in my work and personal life balances.
Managing burnout.
I struggled for a while there with a lack of physical social interaction.
I certainly gain energy from interacting with people, and I've struggled in the absence of an office and interactions with people.
We're no change, and that's a mark of their skill and commitment.
On the whole, more effective.
More effective.
Yeah, it's more effective now.
No change, business as usual.
Advocacy is the answer. We need to advocate the federal government to take action because their lack of policies inhibit.
Climate change, it needs to, I guess, be at the forefront of everything that we do.
Constructing energy efficient buildings is the first step.
Collaboration across boundaries and long-term ownership of assets.
There's ways that we can be designing better from an architect's perspective. There's better materials that we can be using.
Sustainable, hopefully.
Sustainable dividend.
See sustainability as a driver for real estate investment.
I will say both is equally important.
I think we need to find a way to achieve both to the best that we possibly can.
I think it's both. However, the sustainability outcomes driven by financial institutions will ensure that it's more than just the tier one developers and investors delivering on the sustainability dividends.
My best bet for property investment is residential still.
Residential real estate will still continue to grow. I think houses in suburban areas will continue to grow also.
I actually think retail is a really interesting sector. I think it's been the hardest hit, but I think for that reason it's had to innovate at the small scale and the large scale. It hasn't had a choice.
I think 2021, I'm going to say logistics, just because there's been such a strong on-demand, purchasing on demand, online shopping.
The industry will continue to grapple with these changing trends that have been exacerbated by COVID.
Hotels.
Conventions, events and tourisms. How we ensure that in the short term we don't lose that space because it's just not rentable or usable is going to be a serious problem.
I think that our inner city apartments are going to be in a bit of a crisis point.
For sure, build to rent if we can get some tax changes across the board to make it feasible for developers.
I think that residential tied with health and wellness as a realm.
We're actually seeing a bit of a spike in a medical sort of scene in terms of hospitals and medical stores and the aspects where physical attendance is required.
I think residential affordable housing build to rent will be the biggest opportunity in Australian real estate.
Retail, right? Given the trend toward online shopping and a move away from crowded malls.
People are focusing a lot more on their health, and since COVID, they want to be active and outside and engaging with the community. Ooh.
Hopefully to Paris.
I'm going to Queenstown.
London. I'm meant to be there now with family.
I'm going back home to see my family in Hong Kong.
One of the big old European cities to get a taste of something really different. Maybe London, Rome, Barcelona.
Probably somewhere really busy and really packed and full of people. Somewhere like Tokyo or somewhere in South America.
London.
I plan to have a bit of a honeymoon through South America, so I would love to eventually make our way back there, particularly to get to Patagonia.
I think maybe off to Japan. Love Tokyo.